Thanks for staying with us. And Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment. Tonight, let's get right to the sage of Southern California. He joins us now from Santa Barbara. So, Miller, you're following the budget debate. You know, I'm very impressed by that.
You know, Bill, if you mean by following it, if you mean not following it, then I thank you. Listen, I'm out of it. I don't pay as much attention as I used to. And I know this is going to be delicate because you go down to the Christmas party, he kicks you a second glass of free nog, and you get all swoony for a couple weeks. But I think this guy plays rough, and I'm staying out of his way. He won. Give him what he wants. Don't leave any prints. If it goes up in smoke, you can pin the blame on him. I don't think Boehner's the guy we want to have there right now. Boehner, he gets a little too emotional, man. You mentioned that he used to busboy at his old man's tavern. He turns into a cat watching Terms of Endearment while peeling a Bermuda onion. You know, starts to read like Sabrina's journal when she went to cooking school in France. So I don't know if he's the main guy we want out there right now, but I stay out of the way. Yes, sir, Mr. President. No, sir, Mr. President. May I have another, Mr. President?
A little Animal House alliteration there. Okay. I don't know what's going to... I'm bored by it. I hope they get some kind of deal. Now, this is an interesting deal. Best places in which to be born. Not to live, just to be born.
All right.
Okay?
All right.
Now, this comes from the Economist Intelligence Unit. There they are: Switzerland, Australia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Singapore, New Zealand, Netherlands, Canada, and Hong Kong. No mention of the USA. We're 16. So let's take the top three: Switzerland, Australia, and Norway. Hey, Miller.
Yeah, they're all the same to me. One's got the Alps in the middle, one's got a big rock in the middle. I don't know anything about all these places that are called. I don't want to be the mayor of a hamlet in Lapland, okay? I could care less. Sweden, are you kidding me? Ingmar Bergman was an optimist in Sweden. He saw the mead cup half full. You know, they comp everything over there, even your state-run funeral, after you off yourself in your late 20s because you folded your whole cards as far as motivation goes from day one. I'm just not interested. I dig the big, honking, what a mess, United States. I don't want the government in my life. I'm not a militia guy up in Coeur d'Alene, but let me say this. When I look at morons like Schumer and Pelosi and Joe Biden, I think, is this really who we want to turn it all over to?
That's why I think that's why we're 16, because babies will be frightened when they finally wake up and they see some of the people you mentioned looming ahead of them with power.
Yeah.
You know, like
16th, when it really hits the fan and they start blowing up mountaintops in Switzerland, trust me, the Swiss are going to drop all that neutrality thing, come knocking on our door to kick the bad guy's ass.
Yeah, but Switzerland was interesting. The reason they never got involved with any war is because they dynamited all of their tunnels, and then so nobody could move around because it's all mountains. Anyway, the only country I haven't visited on this list is New Zealand. I've not been to New Zealand. Here it's very beautiful. But Singapore is number 6, and Singapore is basically a fascist government. They tell you what to do. When the baby's born, they tell the baby's parent what blanket to put on her. Or him, what kind of rattle to have.
I don't know, Billy. I think that blanket thing's a blanket statement. No. So I would say this.
You know, there's not a lot of freedom going on in Singapore. And, you know, Norwegian countries, as you said, they're all committing suicide, and they can't go out of the house for 6 months because it's dark. So I don't know.
Hey, Billy, let me say this.
What?
I just got a new BMW, and if some kid runs a key across it, and some Asian cat wants to pull his pants down and smack him with a cane across his buttocks, I'm all for it.
All right, Miller, a man of the people. All right, NFL, you have a beef with the National Football League, Miller. What is it?
Listen, Goodell's just like Obama. He's just going to try to change the whole game, get out of the way. You know, Roger, just shut the league down. I don't know how you sleep with yourself if you have that much problem with it. Just shut the league down. Billy, if you want to see the penalties replayed on any given night in a current NFL game, watch the show later that night about who's in the NFL's Hall of Fame. They're the same plays. Ronnie Lott would be fined out of the league right now. He's one of the greatest football players I've ever seen. And then they'll play this game on you like liberals do, where they'll go, I guess you're saying you're in favor of broken necks on young man, Dennis. No, I'm not. But if you go to a 21-year-old kid who's been playing football his whole life and says, now you get to play it for women, a lot of money, it's high impact, do you dig it? Do you want to do it? And they say yes. I can't get involved in their life. Start 2 leagues. Put a league where the kid says no to that and see which people watch.
And then it
is by its essence a violent, brutal game.
The root of your problem is that the commissioner, Roger Goodell, wants to kind of the kickoffs or too many people get hurt.
Soft.
They want to do
He's
something
soft.
about. Yeah, but you know, the helmet
Roger
to helmet.
Goodell, to me, is Sandra Fluke in a power tie. You're the commissioner of football. Football's violent. Don't be the commissioner, and don't pitch all this halfway crap. Listen, the no launch rule, good idea. Helmet to helmet, good idea. The rest of it is Jane Austen rules. Cut it down to 12 games, Roger. If you really care as much about these players as you say you do, there's only one way to safeguard them, and we even can't safeguard them then. Go from 16 to 12. It'll cost you some money, but I guarantee you,
it'll be a lot
you will
safer.
save these players.
Right.
Come on, Roger, do it if you care. Do it.
All right. Dennis Miller, everybody, on a roll.